My Lords, I speak briefly first to the linked amendments 70 and 95 in the names of the Noble Lady Baroness Mackintosh and the Noble Lord Wigley. And I note that a member of your Lordship's House, Lord Agnew, today found himself getting some attention from a claim that traders were taking a head-in-the-sand approach to trade post-Brexit. And I don't think I can do better in response than quoting the Chief Operating Officer of the Food and Drink Federation. If any traders have their head in the sand, it's because after many frustrating months awaiting critical answers, they probably think it's more likely they'll find those answers in the sand than they will from the government. Now, that was coming from an organisation that's not, I think it would be fair to say, a natural critic of the government. And I do hope that Lord Agnew's comments don't accurately reflect the view of government, particularly that it isn't an indication that it does not understand the extremely difficult position of small businesses, with so much else to deal with at the moment, the risk of seeing them battered further in an uneven playing field from larger firms that are more likely to have the resources to react, something the Noble Lady Baroness Rofe just alluded to, Neville Rofe just alluded to. But I mostly wanted to speak to Amendment 93 in the name of the Noble Lord Lansley, and I appreciate the chance to support an amendment in his name since we've had some disagreement on other elements of this bill. And I want to say that I think this is the first time this has come up in this committee, the issue of free zones. And I want to express the Green Group's strong opposition to the whole concept, noting that there were 7 free ports in the UK at various points between 1984 and 2012, and they were seen to have failed. Going back to the 1980s is surely not the answer for today. I also note that the European Greens have been strong in their opposition, highlighting the links of free ports and free enterprise zones to tax avoidance, as exposed in the Madeira papers. And to quote the words of the historian Quinn Slobodian, what they do is splinter the world into jurisdictions engaged in a constant competition to attract multinational companies, locking nations into a global place war to offer businesses the most enticing incentives and the lowest labour costs. But today we're not focusing mostly on the principle, but what the Noble Lord Lansley has created in his amendment, at least the chance for some democratic oversight, and absolutely crucial, a commitment to some local consultation. I would like to see in this amendment both a stronger position on local consultation and national oversight, noting that the impact isn't only in the immediate area, but also in economically similar other areas, which are likely to see a loss of business and jobs to new zones. But that's something I hope that we can return to in the report stage. I'll be very interested to hear the Minister's response and perhaps what plans the government has, particularly on consultation, local consultation and oversight, if they wish to push ahead with this revival of an old neoliberal failure. Thank you, my lords.